Alright, we are live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. I am Violet Hyena, and you are here with perfect timing, and I am here to do readings for people with perfect timing. And once we get questions in chat, I can start doing readings. So, I'm gonna drop my own chat to greet everyone. One moment, please. There we go. Welcome, drop your question in the chat, and I shall get to them. I may be filling time with oracle card readings while I wait. Oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, check back to if he has them go. Oh. And also, phone was blowing up at me. Oh, Margaret. Hello, Margaret. Hello. Is Paul going to ask to stay the night tonight? Alright, let's ask the cards. Okay. Untwist the rubber. Okay. Will Paul ask to stay the night? Which deck would like to answer that? There's more. Yay. Will I start my purse business tonight? Purse business tonight. Will Margaret start? Will Margaret start purse business in August? Which deck would like to answer Margaret? Okay, it is the cat deck. The cat deck. Okay, so will Paul stay? Will Paul ask to stay the night tonight? Will Margaret start her purse business tonight? And will Margaret start her purse business in August? That's what I meant to say. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to answer all the questions. All right. So I guess it's so is Paul going to ask to stay the night tonight? And will Margaret start her purse business in August? Okay, better? Okay. So, is Paul gonna ask to stay the night? Yes. Is Margaret gonna start her purse business in August? Nope. Okay, so will Paul ask to stay the night? And that is a major arcana. And this is judgment. Judgment is usually a reflection on yourself. However, I feel like this one is giving pressure from others. Him asking tonight would be him pressuring you to do something uncomfortable. That is what the card is telling me. The purse business in August. Okay, Margaret. I have a cosmic timing deck where I can just ask it when you're going to start your business, your purse business. I'm gonna use this one for your purse business. When is Margaret going to start her purse business? When is Margaret going to start her purse business? Here, let me put these aside. When is Margaret going to start her purse business? Okay, so when will Margaret start her purse business? Very soon. Very soon. And then the next one is... The next one is, should I move back to New York? I'm gonna ask the cards. Should Margaret move back to New York? Okay. Should Margaret move back to New York? The answer is no. And that is the Two of Cups. So no New York. And the Two of Cups is usually sharing a deep connection with someone emotionally. So the reason you don't go back to New York is because you need to share your emotions with somebody close. Okay, and then Margaret says, I don't have any money. Well, that is a statement and not a question I can ask the cards. And Mario Party Master says, hi, Violet. Hi, Mario. How you doing? And Margaret says, for my purse business. Right? It's still a statement. It's not a question for the cards. Mario Party says, been a while. Violet, I'm okay. You? I'm okay. Doing alright. Will I find money for my purse business? That is a good question. will Margaret find money for purse business? And Mario Party says, glad you're doing well. I am doing well. Life is pretty good. Not many complaints. Okay, will Margaret find money for the purse business? Okay, and the answer is no. Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a person with a lot of thought, steady thought. Who's been through this before, so they're not unhindered. So they're not, how to put this? The Queen of Swords is very steady in her thought and not overly concerned because she knows things will work out. And she sees the logic in everything. And plans can be made logically. But I believe that was still a no. You won't find the money, but maybe there's a plan that you could find instead. Okay, I hope that helps you out, Margaret. And Mario Party said, glad you're doing well? Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm going to have a drink of water. Alright, and Margaret says, will Margaret move to Miami next year? Well, Margaret, which deck wants to answer Margaret? It's gonna be Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Supernatural deck. Okay, so will Margaret move to Miami next year? Will Margaret move to Miami next year? The answer is yes. The Page of Blades. And the page is a young person, and blades are the swords. So, the Page of Thoughts. And it was a yes. So, a youth is going to make plans and follow forth with them with enthusiasm and lots of brain power. Lots of brain power. Alright, I hope that helps you out, Margaret. And Parlous Love, try Parlous. The mirror catches some frosts, as mirrors do. And Parlous says hello again. Hello, Parlous. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm going to refresh. Parlous says developing a subscript. What are you developing a subscript about? Establish characters, but switching the plot line. Establish characters from what? It's done a whole lot for English language class. Okay. Take any story or Once Upon a Time and mix the scenes. Like what? Such as the Page of Swords. What happens when the Page of Swords recognizes what they can do with a mirror? What if the mirror is their sword? What if they decide to look fabulous by looking in their sword? Magnet emoji. That the thing starts out at a pool. Lots of social interactions that happen at a public pool. You could burn somebody with that mirror. Some great or awful lighting shadows. You could make a rainbow with that mirror. Oh no. I saw it. I left the information card in here. Ah, found you. Looking for that icon rainbow. It's under rainbow for colors. Remember? Prism? Found it. That was it. Yep. That works. Both are good. Just something about the previous deck art style that fascinated me. Which one? Stephen King's Christian? In which Arnie is possessed by the car. He gets possessed by a car? Has that Page of Swords energy. The running with scissors energy? Because, look, the Page of Swords, for me, that energy is a little child running with a knife. Yeah, Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhands. No, I mean like gleefully running with scissors, not carefully trimming hedges. That would be more like the master or the king of swords. Carefully trimming. Nobody wants to trust someone behind the wheel of a vehicle, like a self-driving vehicle. Okay. Car emoji. I don't know. I am a driver, and I can drive myself. I don't need an AI to do it. It's been documented that Waymo vehicles recognizes pedestrians. Okay. Taxi wanted to run with that strange article found recently. Meh. I noticed you. Someone admitted after a year, it still unsettles her. Yeah, look, I'm a driver. I want control of my vehicle, and that's that. That's an honest opinion of a school. I drive for a living, so I want control of the vehicle. Sparkle balloon. There could be something that says something. Anyone can make a script out of this. Such as pumpkin. What other kinds of vehicles or ellipses could be released in 2026? Well, when you say it like that, if a ghost hopped in a body and they're driving it, who's driving who? Doesn't know if oracle cards say might say. Okay, red curtain, just one line. I don't know what you're talking about. Japanese dolls. Anyone ever watched Chucky and Tiffany movie? Nope. Never saw it. They're just two dolls in the back seat of a vehicle. Go on. Someone had to deliver the two dolls to a location. Okay. So they had their mission given to them. Did they complete the mission? Or did weird stuff happen? I bet weird stuff happened. Flying flags, leaving it to that. I bet weird things happened. Let's see, tennis. Nobody knows what kind of deliveries folk have to bring from point A to point B. That is a very broad statement. What do you mean? Musical notes. All you need is a mixtape. You are veering off subject. In the span of a half hour or so is enough to basically make a short film. Okay. Works as a screensaver for YouTube. What works as a screensaver for YouTube? Slider emoji and dials emoji. Wonders how it's done. You have veered from the subject of deliveries folks have to bring from point A to point B. Creates its own atmosphere. Radio creates its own atmosphere. You mean music. Music creates its own atmosphere. Or do you mean radio waves? Shrine lollipop. I am always receiving the essence of what I am giving. Appreciation and love and alignment to that which is source is the ultimate give back, so to speak, for in your pain or struggle, you have nothing to give back. What you are living is always an exact replication of your vibrational patterns of thought. Nothing could be more fair than life as you are living it. For as you are thinking, you are vibrating. And as you are vibrating, you are attracting. And so you are always getting back the essence of what you are giving. And Parlaslav likes the card. Cool. Appreciation and gratitude are different vibrational states. Whenever you feel gratitude, often you are looking at a difficulty that you have overcome, but there are still some of that struggle vibration present. The state of appreciation is seeing whatever you are looking through the eyes of Source. You could walk down a crowded street with all kinds of things that a lot of other people would find reason to criticize or worry about, and you would not have access to them because your vibration of appreciation is picking up for you things of a different vibrational nature. And Prala Slouch sends her hearts. Just hydrating. Hydration. Evil eye. What someone picks up differs. Scuba mask. Life is always working out for me. I like understanding that things are always evolving, and while there are many things that could be better where I am, it is not really a problem because where I am is constantly changing to something better. I like knowing that as I look for the best things around me where I am, those things become more prevalent in my experience. It is fun to know that things are always working out for me, and as I watch for the evidence of that, I see more evidence of that every day. Life is always working out for me. Parlasach says, still learning how many versions of those are. Yo-yo emoji, sometimes learning how a product works. I will tell my story as I want it to be. If you let your dominant intention be to revise and improve the content of the story you tell every day of your life, it is our absolute promise to you that your life will become that ever-improving story. For by the powerful law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. It must be. Oh, hands, gloves, stranger than fiction. It is not my role to make others happy. It is not your role to make others happy. It is your role to keep yourself in balance. When you pay attention to how you feel and practice self-empowering thoughts that align with who you really are, you will offer an example of thriving that will be of tremendous value to those who have the benefit of observing you. You cannot get poor enough to help poor people thrive, or get sick enough to make sick people get well. You can only uplift from your position of strength and clarity and alignment. Wow. When to know how to observe. The better it gets, the better it gets. When you deliberately seek positive aspects of whatever you're giving your attention to, you, in a sense, tune your vibrational tuner to more positive aspects of everything. And of course, you could tune yourself negatively as well. But as you are deliberately looking for positive aspects in yourself or in others, you will get better at. The better it gets, the better it gets. For you get more and more of what you are thinking about, whether you want it or not. Please. Refresh your pause. Snowmobile could either learn how to handle standing on ice skids. You could. Trick break. Scissors emoji. Thanks. You're welcome. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. By choosing better feeling thoughts and by speaking more of what you do want and less of what you do not want, you will gently tune yourself to the vibrational frequency of your broader perspective. To see your world through the eyes of Source is truly the most spectacular view of life. For from that vibrational vantage point, you are in alignment with and therefore in the process of attracting only what you would consider to be the very best of your world. Evil Eye Learning. I want to harmonize with my desire. Anytime you feel negative emotion, stop and say, something is important here. Otherwise, I would not be feeling this negative emotion. What is it that I want? And then simply turn your attention to what you do want. In the moment you turn your attention to what you do want, the negative attraction will stop. And in the moment the negative attraction stops, the positive attraction will begin. And in that moment, your feeling will change from not feeling good to feeling good. That is the process of pivoting. And Parla Slouch says, how Nancy Downs drawn something different from the mirror opposed to Sarah Bailey had. So who's Nancy Downs? I am the attractor of my every experience. You are meant to live in an expansive, exhilarating, good-feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this space-time reality. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself, is drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it would serve you well, and so it has. Let's see, a 1990s film. Dice felt that nobody really described what happens afterwards. Who's Sarah Bailey? I can follow the trail of good feeling thoughts. Most people have put anything that earns money in the category of the things that I do have to do. And that is why the money often comes so hard. If you are wise enough to follow the trail of good feeling thoughts by deliberately looking for positive aspects along your way, you will come into the vibrational alignment with who you really are and with the things you really want. And because you do that, the universe must deliver to you a viable means to achieve your desires. And Parasach says, she locates from San Francisco to Los Angeles, attends Catholic school, meets the 3 teenage girls, have to go. Okay, bye, Parlis. Have a good night. I can always tell a different financial abundance story. What anyone else has or does not have has nothing to do with you. The only thing that affects your experience is the way you utilize the non-physical energy with your thought. Your abundance or lack of it in your experience has nothing to do with what anyone else is doing or having. It only has to do with your perspective. It only has to do with your offering of thought. If you want your fortunes to shift, you have to begin telling a different story. John, hi John, how you doing? Does Lisa want to help me? I'm gonna ask the cards. Does Lisa want to help John? Which deck wants to help? Which deck wants to answer John? Number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Does Lisa want to help John? 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 The answer is yes. Lisa wants to help John. And it is the Ace of Chalices. And the ace is the beginning of something, and chalices are emotions and water. So this could be the start of a lovely relationship. So yeah. I hope that helps you out, John. Alright. I'll put this deck away. And here's some water. And John says, are you familiar with staying silent in witchcraft? I am not familiar. I know last time you had mentioned anything like that, you had a rule that you weren't supposed to talk about spells. Yeah, the fourth power of Magus. You are in a different branch of magic than I am, sir. So what brings up this question? Give me a minute. I shall give you a minute. Let's see. John says discretion and secrecy regarding your intentions and workings. Okay. So, again, what brings up this subject, John? John says, yeah, I was wondering you were familiar with that? I am not. Again, this is our magics are very different. I have really no secrets to keep. What magic do you practice? Just curious. The magic of the universe. And lots of focus. And tarot cards. Ooh, and spice magic. Spice magic is my favorite. I love rune magic. It makes sense because you really like the Vikings and their gods, so that makes sense. It works on belief? Do you think it works on belief? Yes. Yeah, my dad's sis is. Yeah, my dad's sis is. So my dad's side is Norwegian. Okay. Nice. So I'm half Norwegian. You are. How do you feel about that? Do you feel proud? It sounds like you are by how much you indulge in the Viking stuff. I thought it was intriguing to get into my heritage. Line of gods. Yeah, I bet that feels pretty fulfilling. I am a Buddhist, so I kind of work with the whole interconnectedness of the universe because we're all connected. Yeah. That concept makes sense. Yeah, it does to me too. It's the one that has always made sense to me. So, like the divine. Well, you know what? I think the divine is in there in the universe, so yeah. And Parlasach says the speaker system is better on the television than on the PC desktop. Well, Parlos, it makes sense that a TV would have a better sound system than a PC desktop. There's a 15-second echo space. Do you mean a lag? And is that in my audio or the television slash PC? It feels unusual to have two separate digital devices on the same at the same time. Like there's a reverb echo. Yeah. So you're gonna have to pick one. Pick which one is your favorite and stick with that one. Otherwise you'll probably hurt your brain. And it's gonna be doubly weird with me shuffling cards. Just saying. They're both good. You know what? It's your ears. I should not make any judgments. Especially, it's amazing how it echoes while shuffling. Well, that's good. Give you some ASMR. ASMR? ASMR. I've been told the sound of me shuffling cards is very soothing. That Haunted Mansion effect with Madame Leota from Disney movie. Okay, I actually remember that scene. She had a cool effect to her. King 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And John says, it's just you shouldn't talk about your intentions. It can mess with it. I mean, John, you're not wrong. And there's like reasons behind that. It comes from Aleister Crowley. I forgot the other guy's name. Okay. And Parlous Lodge says, same actress Jennifer Tilly did this. Did anyone know what they were getting themselves into? I bet they thought they were getting themselves into a really cool movie. And Parlous Lodge says, the same author that had a person get a bad haircut with 2 tufts of red hair that look like horns. Both of them travel to a desert and mess up some property by drawing stuff in the sand. Well, here's the thing, Parlous. You're here after watching it and still talking about it, so it must have had an emotional effect on you. Someone was in a triangle and someone else is in a circle. Wasn't sure if it was the special effects on film or that awful haircut. It affected you emotionally. In fact, you must have been very disgusted about that haircut that is stuck in your memory, and therefore you bring it out when you feel disgusted by someone's haircut. Or maybe you take that terrible haircut and now you see everyone else's haircut as spectacular because it's not that haircut. It sticks with someone psychologically. Absolutely. You were traumatized by the haircut. At least a little bit. It has stuck with you emotionally. You can't miss it. I know. It's stuck with you emotionally. And it actually sounds like there's a deep care there about how other people see you through a haircut. Because, I mean, you could just put on a hat and become someone who has really cool hats. Such as Pennywise the Clown has such a particular look. Well, yeah. Actually, did you know that all clowns have specific makeups that are only unique to them? The way the actor has that audition in which they nail the stare. They find they're good actors in many different ways. The way the actor stare. Yep. doesn't know how the difference between one kind of magic versus another. One magic works one way, and another magic works another. Well, Parlis, I have a question for you. Are you familiar with D&D? Or Dungeons and Dragons? Because I like to use Dungeons and Dragons on how to explain different magics. Yes. So, in Dungeons and Dragons, there is stuff called deity magic, which is celestial magic, and there's blood magic, like sorcerers, and they get their magic from their ancestors. And then there are wizards who study their magic, and they get them from books and focus and years of study. And that's 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then there's druids who get their magic from the nature. That system has at least 9 kinds of stuff. Exactly. So it really boils down to how you get your magic. Dwarves have a certain script. Construction. What do you mean a certain script? Elves have a certain script, different, but folks don't know it's LOTR. I wouldn't call it a script, I would call it a background. System of writing differs. But in reality, we've got 7 days in a week. Even how math is done. I can tell you're trying to figure something out, Parlis. With numbers. Did the Norse gods answer my petitions back in September, October? I'll ask the cards. Okay, which deck wants to answer John's question? deck wants to answer John's question. Number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cat turns. Ankita, hi! How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Let's see. Did the Norse gods answer John's petition back in September, October? Okay. Did the gods answer John's petitions back in September, October? And the answer is yes. The 9. Is that wands? I'm guessing it's wands, but yeah, wands is toys. So the nine of wands, which is completion of cycles ending and fulfillment of all the action. Yeah, so they completed it, John. They did answer your petitions. And that is what the cards say. Hope that helped you out. Alright, so again, welcome Ankita. I hope you're doing well. And Parla Slutch says 8 o'clock. Nice art. Yeah, it has good art. And John says, I just gave them pound cake. They must have liked it. Ma'am, when will R start talking to me? I have the Cosmic Timing deck, Oracle deck, and Kita. I'm going to use that to answer your question. So, when will R start talking to Ankita? When will R start talking to Ankita? When will R start talking to Ankita? And the cards say it's up to you. So the cards say it's up to you. I hope that helps you out, Ankita. And John says, if I did that now, I'd do separate offerings. Cool. That'd be a good idea. Will R be saved from the bad project he has been trying to force into and stay with us? And Pralisa, you know what? I'm going to put Ankita on the list, and then I'm going to complete chat, and then I'm going to go back to Ankita's question. The second question. Because I also needed a drink. And Parlous Larch says, BRB, getting that coffee refill. And Ankita says, thinking face, thinking face, thinking face. So it's like I have to go talk all the time till he replies. I will ask the cards. But getting into that second question. So I'm going to answer both of your questions. Which deck wants to answer Ankita's questions? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Supernatural deck. So, first question is, will R be saved from the bad projects? And does Ankita have to go talk all the time until he replies? Okay, so I'm going to answer Ankita's questions and then I'll get back to chat. Okay, so will R be saved from the bad project? And will Ankita have to go talk all the time until he replies? That's a good one. Forgot the twist. That's a good one. So will R be saved from the bad project he's been trying to force into? No. And will Ankita have to go talk all the time until he replies? Yep. So we're going to look further into these cards for more details. Will R be saved from the project? No, he will not. He's gotten himself into it because he's the Page of Blades and he's running with scissors and blades. And he's gotten himself into it. And I don't think he's backing down from it. And then, will Ankita have to go talk all the time until he replies? And the answer is yes. The Knight of Blades. If you want... Yeah, the Knight of Blades is very aggressive. And also, with blades are swords, and swords have to do with the brain. So it's going to be a very aggressive move on your part. Okay, Ankita? Go forth and be a bother. Alright, so I'm going to put these cards away, and I'm going to catch up on chat. But first, I'm gonna drink water. Better. Okay, where were we? And Paula says, has one foot in the door here, but another in a different realm. And Paula says, 5 o'clock. Fun how this system works. And Debbie Kelly says, hello, beautiful Rose. Hello, Debbie Kitty. Debbie Kelly says, can you please pull a card for me and tell me what the universe has to say? Yes, Debbie's on the board. And Debbie says, another question, please. Will I be entering weightlifting competition next year? All right. And Ankita says, okay, ma'am, thank you. And you are very welcome, Ankita. Preston says hello. Hello, Preston. Yes, you can ask your question. But I'm gonna roll back now since I've caught up in chat, and I'm going to answer Debbie's questions. So, let's see which deck wants to answer Debbie. What does the universe have to say to Debbie? Number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every little thing you do is magic, Tarots. Okay, so we'll be able to answer both of your questions with this. Pull a card for the universe to say, and let me just write these down so we know which one is which. What does the universe have to say? And weightlifting competition. Next year. Weightlifting competition. Okay. Ooh. I love shuffling. This deck is so nice. Ooh. Ooh, that was good. Alright, so what does the universe have to tell Debbie? And will Debbie be weightlifting? Will Debbie be entering weightlifting competition next year? The answer is no. So let's look at the cards. This one. Let's see. What does the universe have to say? Is the Oracle of Swords. And swords are of thought, and the oracle is, I believe, the nurturing, supportive part of the suit. Which means these are nice, calm, fluttery thoughts, especially if it has to do with all the birds and the butterflies and the winged creatures. And also, it does bring up the fact that the swords are air signs. But a nice flock of varied animals or thoughts. So you have a calm but busy mind, and that is what the universe is saying right now. And for weightlifting competition next year, again, it said no. And the card is the Magician, which is a major arcana and has all kinds of resources. I mean, it has all kinds of resources, but they're not going to help you get your weightlifting competition next year. Okay, I hope that helps you out. I'm going to put these back, and then I'm going to have a drink, and I'll get back to chat. Yay, water. Water. Okay. Where were we? And Debbie says, maybe too soon. Debbie says, I'm just starting strength training. Buff arm. Debbie Kelly says, I'm Aquarius. Aquarius pot. Debbie says, yes, I do. Debbie says, I am a magician. Sparkle. Sparkle. Paraslouch says, Shooting Star, great card. There's other competitions out there. Absolutely, especially in my category, over 65. Very nice. And Debbie Kelly says, thanks. Thank you, hands. And Paraslouch says, the sound effect with the audio is fascinating. Yes. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Parlis. Mm. 7. And Pralsach says, had to experience this mirror realm, ellipses, especially visually and audibly. That Japanese soundtrack effect Godzilla. Toho Studios. And Pralsach says, feels like I've opened the last 3/3 of the High Priestess scroll. What do you mean by that, Parlis? Couldn't see the whole film poster. Why not? Ankita says hi, and I will say hi back. And Pralsach says, brochure cut is like that. Something is hiding in the folds. And Ankita says, I'm back. Laughing, crying face, laughing, crying face. And Pralsach says, smile face. Yeah. And Pralsach says, wanted to take up pendulum work. And Kita says, ma'am, is the feeling am developing for this person in for my good, because I don't know if I'll end up being rejected again. I'm trying. Okay, so I'm going to try to dissect Ankita's question and then answer it. so, is the feeling M developing for this person in my good, because I don't know if I'll end up being rejected again. Ma'am, is the feeling developing for this person in for my good, because I don't know if I'll end up being rejected again. So is the feeling M developing for, is the feeling Ankita is developing for this person in your good interests? Because you don't know if you'll end up rejected again. Okay, so let's try to phrase it in a different way. Does this person have your best interest at heart? Would that be a better question? Yes, probably. Okay, yes. That's a better question. So, which deck would like to answer Ankita? So, does this person have Ankita's best interest? This is going to be number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cat turret. So, does this person have Ankita's best interest at heart? Does this person have Ankita's best interest at heart? And the answer is yes. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so it is Pentacles. And the Pentacles are coins, so that is materialized things, that is wealth, health, and earth. And the Queen of Pentacles is a master in her own right of these resources, and is patient enough to wait for them to come to her. So yes, this person has your best interests at heart. And it sounds like a reliable person to trust again. Because all you can really do is trust, and then have the trust be broken, and then learn who they are. So the cards are encouraging you to try again. Because this one sounds like a more reliable person than the previous one. Alright, so I hope that helps you out, Ankita. Okay, and then I'm gonna catch up on chat and have a drink of water. So I have been streaming for an hour and 52 minutes. So I have 8 minutes left. Because I stream for 2 hours at a time. Okay, let's see. And Parla said BRB must feed Ginger Fred the cat. And Kita says, I couldn't sleep a whole night. And Ankita says, yes, probably, which is where we got our question from, which worked out great. And Parlis Lodge says, Ginger Fred knows how to turn the air conditioner on by laying on top of it. Yes, he must be a furry heater. This is totally Ginger Fred's influence. And the full moon emoji, helpful. And Ankita says, yes, ma'am. And Parlasach says, Saturn, enjoy your evening. I will. Ankita says, very upset about him not talking. You know what, Ankita? You are allowed to feel upset about him not talking to you. You're allowed to feel that way. It's okay. And then Pralasouch says, keep some scratch paper and a pen. And Pralasouch says, you'll find out soon. And Kita says, I can't help it. I tried to ignore it, but I can't. And that's valid. You know, your feelings are valid because you, and this is a guess on my part, you feel ignored and unloved. And Ankita says, crying emoji, crying emoji, crying emoji. Thank you. Yeah, it's rough. I'm sorry, honey. And Pralasach says, there's a good reason why. And Pralasach says, got to go. Okay, bye, Parlas. Thank you for coming. So, Ankita, if this person is making you feel like this, what do you think you would want to do about that? Ankita says he's going through something very bad in personal life. I don't know what, but all I know is this. And that's valid. He has stuff to do. But also, he's not giving you the attention that you crave. So, what do you think you could do about it? You don't know? Would you like to ask the cards? Yeah, sure. Okay, so. Oh, cards. You know what? We're gonna open this up for all of the decks. I'm gonna see if any of the decks have any advice for Ankita, because she's going through a really rough time right now. So, which deck wants to answer Ankita? Which deck would like to answer Ankita? Ah, the Joker. I don't have a card assigned to the Joker. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's the Supernatural deck. Alright. So. Supernatural deck. Oh, Winchesters. Ankita feels stuck. Do you have any advice for her? Ooh, it's a very good shuffle. What do the cards have to say? Okay, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, fulfillment of wealth, health, and earth. What else? And the 2 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, making a deal. It looks like you should refocus your attention on something that would bring you wealth and health and earth. And you should do it with someone else. Or, hold on, is it decisions? Let me see. Balance, connection, these decisions. But this one makes me feel like making decisions, okay, about wealth or health is definitely wanting you to refocus your attention on your wealth or health or the environment around yourself rather than this person. So the things get normal between us soon. I will ask the cards that question. Will the things... Okay, so Kita says also, I understand, but it's heartbreaking. I never felt anything like this for anyone. So things get normal between us soon. I understand you are extremely sad, Ankita. And Ankita says, even with the person I stayed 4 years, never they affected me this much. I know it sounds wrong, but that's the truth. Look, these are your feelings. They are valid, and you feel very bad, and you don't want to feel bad anymore. That's very valid. That's very human. And that's okay. But you have to make a decision about what you're going to do about it. Now, the cards have suggested that you focus on another area in your life besides your emotions. And that is the wealth and health and earth, the environment. And you don't have to take that advice. But I leave it with you. Also, it has been 2 hours and that I've been streaming. And for my mental health, I am going to have to say goodnight. And if you want to come back another night, you can. Maybe we can do some more card readings. But for tonight, I am tired and I want to thank everyone for coming. And Ankita says, so the things get normal between us soon. Ankita, I am at my 2-hour mark. I am done for the night. If you want to come back tomorrow night at 8, I'll be able to do more readings. But for tonight, I am done. So, thank you for coming. I will see you in the future. Bye, everyone. And Ankita says, okay, no issue. Thank you so much for the help. It was really helpful. Yes, I understand. Thank you. You're very welcome. We'll try again tomorrow. But I hope you feel better. Okay? Bye.